Hello and welcome. My name is Zara, and we're going to be discussing the astrology of April 2026. Now, this is going to be a month like no other month. We are going to be focused on self-reliance, your new beginning, your fresh start. Yes, you might even feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Please do take a break and take time out for yourself. It will be vitally important. Okay, now we start the month with a full moon in Libra. First, second, full moon happening in the sign of Libra. What are we releasing? Relationships. We are done. That is it. A relationship, personal, professional, a friendship, a family member, anybody that is sitting opposite you. Libra is about the balance between yourself and others. Where you feel things are out of balance, this is where you define the boundary. And the sun will be in Aries. Now, by the 9th of April, we're going to have Mars in Aries, 15th, Mercury in Aries. By the 17th, a new moon in Aries. Saturn's in Aries. Neptune's in Aries. Now, Saturn will be in Aries until 2028. And Neptune's going to be in Aries as well for a while. With that being said, in April, it's all about Aries energy. Where do you have Aries within your natal chart? That's going to be the most concentrated part of your natal chart, where you are focusing, where you are starting. This is your new beginning, but it's very self-reliant, and it's also very clear you're going to be looking at relationships and be like, no, I can't do this. I want to warn you, with so much being in Aries, we need to be aware of aggression. Mars is in Aries. It loves to be there. This is where we can just, flip the script and completely throw everything at someone, especially with Mars being in Aries. Mars loves it. Mars is the god of war. And with Saturn too in Aries as well. Both planets are malefic planets, meaning that they're harsh. They're not, benefic, which is more sweet. However, sometimes a benefic planet conjunct a malefic planet can amplify something. But that being said, this is potent, it's powerful energy. So watch out for aggression and temper. This is where people fly off the handle. This is where people want to start a war, where people want to push forward and fight the good fight. Just make sure what you're fighting for is important. It's not something that you are just impulsively doing, because with Aries, we got to watch for impulse. Saturn is in Aries, which is, kind of asking us to slow down, to think about things. And Saturn here wants us to restructure how we use anger so that we can be more productive with it. Anger has a place. It's when we see something isn't working and we want to make a change. Aries is a cardinal sign, so it is about change and definitely new beginnings. It's about leadership. It's about, a sense of moving quickly through the world. Aries season can, start and end in a blink of an eye. So we will have Venus, though, in Taurus. And that's a beautiful thing with Venus being in Taurus. There's a lot that is happening in the month of April where we are focusing on values, our money, what gives us security in this life. Venus is at home. That's an excellent placement. Especially even with having Mars in Aries, also at home, we could have felt very drained prior with Mars in Pisces, which was really draining. And then the Mercury retrograde in Pisces, completely draining. Our energy becomes restored. So I urge you to utilize your energy in the best way possible. Take action, start something new. Even when you feel demotivated, Saturn will demotivate you. See, Aries is a fire sign. It's passionate, it's bold, it wants to move, and Saturn slows you down. So sometimes you can feel demotivated to get something done, okay? So the motivation is going to have to come from, one step at a time, like the practicality of doing something one step at a time instead of just finding this motivation or inspiration like how we naturally do with Aries, because Aries is that fire, it's that passion. And given, Saturn is at its weakest position in the sign of Aries. Saturn is exalted in Libra. So in Aries, it's at its fall. It feels like the weight of the world. There's a lot going on. You can feel demotivated. You can feel a bit lonely. But trust me, if you put your head down and focus on the things you want to get done, you will see the reward. Okay, amazing things have happened prior with Saturn in Aries. We just need to hone in on our tempers. That's very important. Now let's look into what it means for all 12 signs. Please kindly check your sun your rising and your moon sign. Rising sign first, but not everybody knows their rising sign. So sun, secondary, moon is more subjective. It's your emotional world. And depending on your moon sign too, you can feel it very differently. Like my cardinal moons will feel this. If you have a Libra moon, a Capricorn moon, an Aries moon, okay? Cancer moon, you will feel this potent energy in the month of April. Aries, happy birthday to my Aries sons. It is your season. If it's your rising sign, this is your sense of self. If it's your moon, this is more your emotional well-being. And you will have a lunar return with the new moon that's happening this month. So pay attention. This month is very potent and powerful energy. I would say my Aries moons would feel a bit more sensitive, really, because we're having Saturn on the moon, Neptune, Mars. Getting sleep and rest and comfortable can feel rather intense and hard at this point in time. So on April 1st to 2nd, we're going to have a full moon in Libra. This is about relationships, all relationships. Whether you're single, whether you are in a relationship, this is about your relationships, your one-on-one partnerships. Now, if you started anything 6 months ago in terms of seeking out a job, a contract, a club, more clients, this full moon can show completion. Like, oh, you're getting in an abundance of clients. You're getting in that contract, especially if you have been trying. When it comes to relationships, single, you're going to be looking at your relationships, whether it's a friend, a job, whoever, parent. You're going to look at the person opposite you and ask yourself, where are the boundaries between you and I? Am I overextending myself? Do I feel completely drained and need to stipulate a boundary? Heated moments can happen within relationships at this point in time. Okay, so keep that in mind. And Aries, for you, a lot of tension could also arise when it comes to values, finances, and family, with Venus, the ruler of this full moon, being in Taurus, in a square to Pluto in Aquarius. Your social dynamics, and you're thinking about your future. So when you're going to be looking at relationships, you're asking about your future. If you are in a relationship, tensions can arise. Now, if there is compromise, a relationship can survive. If there is no compromise, you're done. Okay. Now, April 9th, we're going to have Mars, the planet of action, motivation, at home, sweet spot in Aries. This is your strength. This is your vitality. After feeling drained with Mars in Pisces and emotional and sensitive, all of a sudden you feel like you got your armor back. You can take on the world. This is where you are very much stipulating boundaries and you're moving forward. April 15th, Mercury is in Aries. This is where you're communicating. It's great for contracts, deals, negotiations. Just be careful with impulsive speech. Okay, do not be impulsive. When traveling, please take it easy. Mars is now in Aries, so we want to drive fast. We want to do everything fast. Mercury's in Aries, we're thinking fast. Don't be impulsive, because we learned the lesson in Aries about impulse and what happens. So still think things through, because Saturn is still in Aries, teaching the lesson of, hey, slow down, okay? Neptune is here as well, offering you insight and intuition about other people, conversations. This is a very important time for you to really focus, though, mainly on yourself. So if your intuition is saying, I need to walk away from this, I don't trust this, do this. If you have a vision, a dream with Neptune, focus on that. Saturn's a discipline to put in the work. Mars is giving you the drive, and Mercury is giving you the ideas. Ideas will come streaming in. I will urge you, though, caution, burnout is real. With Saturn being in Aries and all these planets, a stellium of planets being in Aries, it can feel like there's so much to do and I want to start everything and I gotta go. But remember, because Saturn is there, you gotta slow down. You gotta take your time with it. You're gonna give yourself time, okay? And like I said, be gentle, be kind with yourself. Driving, accidents can happen, especially with Mars being in Aries. It's and so much being in Aries. We quick. Everybody wants to move quick. Even if you're not moving quick, the people around you want to move quicker than usual. And this is gonna be frustration can happen. You will learn the lesson of patience here. Saturn's here teaching that. Saturn's teaching the lesson to Aries about slowing down, taking your time, and one step at a time. Okay, new moon, April 17th. Excellent. This is about new beginnings and fresh starts. What you start now, what goal, what dream, what you want to actualize in your life about you, that job, that offer, that relationship you desire. Over the next 6 months, you will see it come to fruition. This is the process you start. This is where you start the seeds. There'll be a lot of new beginnings in terms of what you truly want. Can you meet someone new if you're single during this time? Yes, because it's a new beginning with independence. So whoever you meet during this time will be independent. It's a relationship that holds into that. If you're in an existing relationship, this is a new beginning and a fresh start to your sense of self and how you meet that person. So Aries, this is all about new beginnings in your life. So opportunities within relationships and opportunities, not just in romantic terms, but even professionally in terms of contracts, deals, negotiations. It's a new beginning of a goal you feel passionate about. Then we're going to have April 20th, 19th, the sun enters into Taurus, and this is really great for money. Okay, this is money for you. This is all about money. You will see money coming through in the month of April because March 30th, we had Venus enter into Taurus. So Venus is your money coming through for you. And this just amplifies that. April 24th, we have Venus entering into Gemini. This is all about communication, contracts, deals, negotiations, product launches. If you're single, you're going to meet someone now within your neighborhood. If you're in an existing relationship, it's great for short distance trips. It's great for conversations, banter, playing some games. It's about being open and curious. Okay. April 25th, we are going to have Uranus enter into Gemini, where it will remain until 2033. I do have a video about that if you want to watch it. This is all about you breaking free when it comes to your local environment, your communication, how you express yourself. This is you putting yourself online. This is you deciding to start a blog. You doing something to write, teach, travel, short distance trips with your local environment, changes within your siblings, also your relatives. This is about Uranus. It's unpredictable energy, but it is about liberation and to your mental processes, faculties, and how you express yourself. Now, do comment your sun, moon, rising, and I will respond to you down below in the comments. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to April. Happy birthday to my Taurus sons. It is your season. Now, if you're a Taurus rising, you too are going to feel exhausted because before everything enters into Taurus, you're going to feel kind of tired. The sweet spot is Venus is at home in Taurus in the month of April, okay, until the 24th. So you're going to have that feeling of, luxury, wanting to spoil yourself, and that's a good thing. So April 1st, 2nd, we have a full moon in Libra. If you started anything related to work, contracts, deals, negotiations, making changes, completing projects, you find things coming to, like you've completed it, right? You even reap the rewards, especially if you offer services. This way you can see an influx of clients, opportunities within work. There's also a period where you're done with something within your work. Some of you might decide to change jobs, walk away from an unhealthy, toxic environment. This is all about your health, mentally, emotionally, and physically as well. If you even need to check your health. That full moon around that time is saying, please go to the doctor, seek out healing during that time, especially if you're feeling unwell. It's a great time also, if you are feeling unwell, you're taking some time to rest. April 9th, Mars enters into Aries. This is exhausting. This is like you can't sleep. You feel uncomfortable. You feel restless. Every time you try to get comfortable, you feel uncomfortable. You could have some vivid dreams too that are keeping you up. This is Mars now really, feeling quite uncomfortable. The things that you could be doing with this is closing out old cycles. So anything from the past, closing out projects, anything that you've been working on, you're now working behind the scenes to close it out. So, it's great for even if you're moving, you are basically doing things behind the scenes. It's great for decluttering. It's great for donating. It's great for charity. This is where, once again, you're also quite exhausted, and I do caution you to take care of your health, mentally, emotionally, and physically. You might notice more people are projecting their anger onto you. You could also feel angry, and it might come out in unexpected ways because it is Mars that's provoking you here subconsciously. April 15th, we have Mercury now in Aries. And again, this is about old conversations coming back, people from the past, going to places from the past. This is more about your spiritual well-being. It's a great time to delve into spirituality, like astrology, tarot card readings, meditation, yoga, something to realign you. Mercury here is going to be seeking deeper meaning, inspiration, creativity, and you could get such creative insights. April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. Again, this is about your intuition. It's about trusting your intuition. It's about also rest, rejuvenation, and closing out cycles. By April 20th, 19th, the sun enters into Taurus. Happy birthday to my Taurus sons. This is all about celebrating you. The sweetest thing I can say is that Venus is in Taurus. At least Venus is in Taurus, even though you're dealing with so much of reflection, private planning, healing, spiritual growth. The best thing that could happen for you is having Venus in Taurus, because that's still going to make you feel good. Venus is that planet that where our desires, where we attract money, where we attract, opportunities and love. But be aware that you're still in the process of closing out all cycles. Then April 24th, we have Venus entering into Gemini. This is really great for your money. Okay, Mercury rules over your money, and this is really great for finances, for values, for sense of self-worth, for feeling a sense of inspiration. By April 25th, we have Uranus entering into Gemini, where it will remain until 2033. This is potent and powerful. This is unpredictable, unexpected changes happening to your money. This is like, okay, how can I get more freedom financially? What can I do to bring in more financial opportunities? How can I gain more financial abundance in my life? This is where you are seeking that joy, you are seeking that pleasure, but you're seeking financial freedom. It's going to be through online, it's going to be through communication, negotiations, contracts, deals. This is you seeking and shifting your values until 2033. Do comment your placements and I will respond to you down below in the comments. Gemini. Now, April is all about you and relationships, right? We start off the month, first, second, with the full moon in Libra. You're going to be looking at your romantic life. If you find that your romantic life is draining you, it's not giving you happiness, joy, it's the same area of pleasure. If it's not giving pleasure, you are either walking away, breaking up, done with it, or you're going to find a way like, what can we do to spruce things up? If sprucing things up don't work, this is where you're done. You're also going to be seeking out some balance and fairness within your love life. Like if this love life is feeling unfair, one-sided, or you feel like you're giving too much, you people pleasing, you're going to walk away. You're going to also be doing this if you have children. Some tensions could rise here as well about children or with children. This is really great for completing creative projects you have been working on over the past 6 months. But you're going to ask yourself the big fundamental questions of what gives you joy, what gives you happiness. Now, April 9th, we have Mars entering into Aries. 15th, we got Mercury in Aries. This is all about your social dynamics. There can be very aggressive words being said within your social circles. Think friend group, hobby group, the work group. Yes, the co-worker cliques. Those are a thing. Okay? Tensions can arise. So be aware of that. Healthy boundaries are necessary within your relationships. It's really great for you to take action on collaborative efforts. So seeking out a collaboration, whether that's with a company, whether it's online and in person, because Mercury is about contracts, deals, negotiations, even sales. But you got to be confident, bold, and not come across too aggressive within your sales. But you can acquire quite a lot when it comes to sales. It's really great for you to think about your future vision, who you want to take with you, who is your dream team. Now, April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. This is really great for new beginnings, fresh starts when it comes to contracts, deals, predominantly associated with collaborative efforts. So you can get news during this time about the dream company you wanted to work on or that dream deal you wanted to get. This is about your future vision. A lot of you could find yourself very sociable, right? Attending various events with that new moon. It's giving you the strength of happiness. Now, April 20th, we have the sun entering into Taurus, 20th, 19th, and this is going to ask you to relax, take some time out. You could be feeling exhausted, you could be feeling drained, you're needing some time just for you. But the good news is by April 24th, we have Venus entering into Gemini, and you're feeling so alive again. Right? This is about charm. This is where money wants to come to you. Attraction wants to come to you. People are drawn to you. You are feeling that energy. Venus has been in Taurus throughout the month. So it's all things happening passively when it came to relationships and what you wanted to let go and release. So now, finally, with Venus being in Gemini, going forward over the next 6 weeks, you can feel magnetic, you can feel that joy, you can feel that pleasure. It's great for money, it's great for goals related to money, it's great also for relationships, bringing in some charm. Now, April 25th, we have Uranus entering into Gemini, very romance of 2033. This is really about you. It's time to shake things up, okay? You can't stay the same. This is about unexpected, unpredictable changes to your sense of self. So whatever curveballs the universe hits you, it's for freedom, it's for liberation. So if anything, a person, a place, a situation, a job has been keeping you stuck, Uranus comes in and awakens the innovation within you to break free. Either Uranus comes in and knocks you sideways, right, so that you make the change, or you yourself decide that you need the sense of freedom and you decide you're going to make the change. I feel Geminis are going to do well with Uranus and Gemini because already you are a mutable sign, so it works well with you, you know, whereas Uranus and Taurus was quite heavy. Taurus is fixed up. You are mutable. You're an air sign. So change is part of who you are and your identity. So to get you moving will be easy, depending on your natal chart. If you got more Taurus in there, it might be a challenge. Now do comment your placements down below. Your birth chart is unique to you and I will respond to you in the comments. Cancer, welcome to April. Now, 30th of March, Venus entered into Taurus. All right. And so this was all about your social dynamics, your social connections, finding your community. Venus is money, something of value coming, a desire, a wish fulfilled desire coming to you. And you find that in the month of April until the 24th, then Venus will change signs. So you're finding this joy, this pleasure, you're finding connection, community. It's very sociable energy. It's, you know, finding that community. And also about your future vision and what you want for yourself. Now, the interesting thing is, 1st, 2nd of April, we're going to have a full moon in Libra. This is about your relationships, okay? So your relationships predominantly when it comes to family, home, your living situation, and emotional clarity. You gain clarity and insight into where the boundaries are being crossed here, okay? Where you need to put up boundaries. This is very much about this full moon. Now, if you've been wanting to move home and started 6 months ago, this is where you reap the rewards. Like you finally moved home, you declutter your space, you're organizing your home. That is very much part of it. At the same time, you could even decide that you want to move home. This full moon will make you nostalgic. It will make you emotional. You will reflect about the past. It'll bring up old memories. It's predominantly associated to family, home, living situations. Tensions can arise for you within your home life, meaning people that you share living space with. Whether it's a roommate, a husband, a friend, if they live with you under the same roof, tensions can arise. Boundaries are necessary. Okay, because it's so important that you have that. You're going to ask, where have you overextended yourself when it came to family? A lot of deep healing is going on here, and emotional clarity and intuition is hitting you, and you're exhausted too. You kind of feel tired, like you just want to be comfortable at home. You're trying to, like, you know, find your nest is what you were doing with this full moon. It's really great if you're trying to sell a property, if you're trying to move over the past 6 months with the new moon that happened in October 6 months ago in 2025. Now you completed that cycle. April 9th, Mars enters into Aries. And then April 15th, we have Mercury in Aries. This is all about your career. You're ambitious. But at the same time, you met with tension from people who are authority figures in your life. Okay, this can be an employer, it can be a parent. Can it be a spouse? Yes, if they have right or say over what you do, especially if they have an authoritative nature, they can come down on you. Okay, so the people that hold authority over you, especially when it's Mars in Aries, it's aggressive. So you can notice that people are projecting a little bit more anger on you, asking you about your responsibilities, your accountability, what you want for your future, what are your goals. The tensions are high, the stakes are high. You're also feeling pretty ambitious yourself. This is very ambitious energy. It's great for taking action when it comes to your career, your goal. When you're doing interviews during this time, you'll notice your competition is high. This is the one thing. Competition is high with Mars and Aries, especially when it comes to goals anything that you want to do for yourself. If you're applying for jobs during this time, great time to do so, but you need to be confident and know the competition is high. With Mercury entering into Aries, it's really great for contracts, deals, negotiations in terms of career or any long-term goals that you have for yourself or something for your purpose. So even if you're not working, but you want to start a humanitarian project, you're going to get the news about it. It's a goal for you. It's your sense of legacy. April 17th, it's a new moon in Aries. You best believe that now you're going to really focus on new beginnings and fresh starts when it comes to your career and goals. And what you start now, you will be working on over the next 6 months. So opportunities to work with their company, ideas are going to pop in for your career, ideas for what you want to do when it comes to your long-term vision and goal, what you want for success, Cancer. It's all about that. This is where you need to be confident. Now, I will warn you, Saturn's in Aries, Neptune's in Aries, we got the Sun in Aries, Mars, Mercury. The intensity that this is coming in with can feel overwhelming. You can also really push yourself too hard in this area. And what are you going to need? Bed rest. Okay, because opposite work, we have the bed. So please do not overexert yourself. And you can't get frustrated with the process because it will feel slower. Saturn is here. Neptune here is like asking you to trust your intuition, what fulfills you when it comes to your career. April 20th, we are going to have the Sun enter into Taurus, 1920th. This is all about your community, the very sociable energy, meeting new people, events, connecting to others, friends, social dynamics, getting an opportunity when it comes to working in a new company. The socializing energy within your life amplifies and opportunities are found you, and you'll be thinking about your future vision. Then April 24th, we have Venus in Gemini. Now, when this happens, you needing some time to self. This is about having conversations privately with a loved one. So if you're in a relationship, this is where there's some private healing that's going on and words need to be expressed and said. As well as if you are single, you're going to meet someone that can turn to an affair. It's going to be a private thing, something you need to keep hidden. Exes can come back. Great time for you to close out old emotional wounds within love. Right? When it comes to money, passive income, projects you've previously been working on will pay you out. It's not where money will be flowing to you. Just saying, it's more passive. It's more about things you've already been working on. April 25th, Uranus in Gemini. This is about really awakening your subconscious, and it's going to feel unnerving because it's your subconscious, and Uranus here is going to like show you subconsciously what has been holding you back. If you had a fear of anything, it comes for you. Abandonment, okay? Fear of people thinking you're different when you communicate. Feeling your ideas are always rejected. This is where you're going to face those fears. You know, sometimes Cancers are reserved because oftentimes Gemini is behind them. And this is where they feel abandoned based on their ideas, how they express themselves, the fact that they're a bit different. And this is where you're going to embrace that. This is where Uranus is saying, set yourself free subconsciously. Communicate how you want to communicate. Share your ideas. Be open to who you are. This is your sense of expression and subconsciously what, you know, is going on here. And also you're going to see some hidden enemies. People who don't like what you say come to light. Anything hidden now comes to light for it to be scrutinized with Uranus, but in unpredictable fashion until 2033. Now do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I'd love to hear from you. I will respond to you down below in the comments. Leo, you best be getting that sweet money with Venus in Taurus, which ended March 30th and will stay until the 24th of April. So you've been working on your career, money opportunities coming through your career, your goals, your ambitions. Yes, success wants to come your way, recognition, power, status. April 1st and 2nd, we have a full moon in Libra, right? And this is about communication, siblings, and short distance trips. So you could have just come back from a short distance trip, planning a short distance trip. Maybe there's something going on with your siblings that you need to communicate with. Maybe meet up with your siblings. This is really great if you've been working on any contracts, deals, something you wanted to learn. This is where you can complete it, or you decide, hey, I want to learn about this. This is about your mind and sense of expression. There are going to be some very interesting conversations that you have during this time. And a lot of this is based off of with this full moon happening in Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus is sitting in Taurus. This is your career, your goals, your ambitions, and your reputation, how people perceive you, right? Your reputation is what they perceive about you, which will be in a square to Pluto and Aquarius. There's going to be tensions within relationships and how they perceive you. And this is why some tough conversations need to be had. But if you've been waiting, contracts, deals, negotiations, they can all come through. April 9th, we're going to have Mars enter into Aries. And then 15th, we're going to have Mercury enter into Aries. This is really great motivation for learning, higher education, travel, expansion, growth, news about applications for education. Maybe you decide to teach. You either are teaching or you're learning, but this is all about your expanding growth. You're focusing on your spiritual philosophy too. Really great for travel. April 17th, we are going to have a new moon Aries. This is really great for new beginnings when it comes to studies. So now that you got the news, now you're starting what you're going to be working on over the next 6 months. When it comes to studies, when it comes to your beliefs as well, when it comes to maybe you deciding to teach, this is the inspiration, the juice that gets you flowing, that gets you motivated to do so. Then March 19, 20th, we have the sun entering to Taurus. It's all about your career, your reputation, how people perceive you, your legacy. So if you're not working and you're retired, this is still going to be your legacy. It's what people say when you cease to exist, what they saw about you, what they noticed about you. I recently went to a funeral of my late uncle, and it was beautiful because people always perceive like, what is, this area of life, especially if you are a Leo rising, this is going to be your 10th house, right? If you're Leo sun, you don't know your time of birth, it's going to be from derivative astrology, your 10th house. It's your career. It's what people know you for, right? It's what you did, what you gave to society, okay? So when it came to my uncle, they spoke about everything he built, everything that because he was in construction, every bridge he built, every mall he built, everything that he did, okay? And it's not just that, it is also his legacy of his children and grandchildren, the games he played, the places he took them to, the inspiration he gave. So when you think of this, I don't want you, when I mention career, legacy, it's the things that go beyond just your career. That's why we most times accomplish the 10th house, the career, the midheaven, whether it's from derivative from your sun, moon, or whether it's your rising sign, your 10th house. It is what you accomplish, based on the things that you gave back to society. Whether you started a humanitarian project, whether you started an NGO, whether you built a beautiful garden, what did you do? What did you provide that people will say that they remembered about you? So that is the area of life. And that's what the focus is for Taurus season, okay? Then April 24th, we have Venus entering into Gemini. This is all about your friendships. It's very sociable energy, social connections, collaborations, networking, going out with friends, spending money on friends spending money on you. This is really great though for collaborations. You could get a contract for collaboration, for networking that is financially fulfilling for your future wishes and dreams. You can get paid online too with this. April 25th, Uranus enters into Gemini, and this is about innovation to your social circles. This is like breaking free. This is about finding different people, unique people from foreign cultures, different places, right? This is where you can meet some very interesting people to inspire you to break free and to really dream big when it comes to your future vision. Now, your birth chart is unique to you. Comment your placements down below and I will respond to you in the comments. Virgo. Now, March 30th, Venus enters into Taurus. So predominantly in April, we got Venus sitting beautifully in Taurus. So you can make money through legal matters. You can make money through travel. You could decide to spend money on learning and furthering yourself, investing. This is money on travel. This is money for basically learning. This is money through legal matters. This is that energy of Venus also showing that you could meet someone if you're single, while traveling. If you're in an existing relationship, you gotta be on the same page when it comes to philosophy, right? Your spiritual philosophy of what you hold dear. This is where belief systems can truly set people, on different parts, but this is where you might be sharing more of that. Now, on the 1st, 2nd, we have a full moon happening in the sign of Libra. This is money that comes to you in your bank account, based on what you've been doing previously over these past 6 months since the new moon that we had in Libra. So if you've been putting out your resume, this is where you basically get the job offer. This is where the payout comes out. This is where the opportunity financially comes to you. This is where you're also looking at your finances and asking yourself a very, very important question. How fair is this? How fair and just is this? Because Libra is that energy where we're seeking justice and fairness for our pay here. Your sense of self-worth as well and values start to shift. Now, with this full moon, what is interesting to note is that Venus is in Taurus. So Venus is the depositor of this full moon. And it is in a square to Pluto and Aquarius in the area of work for you. So yeah, you could make money, expansion, growth with Venus and Taurus, so legal matters, travel, investing in your education. But there's a square through Pluto in Aquarius, which is your work. Maybe there's jealous co-workers that is holding you back. Maybe there's not only co-workers. This can be people who are enemies, but open enemies to you. You just know they don't like you. And it's kind of influencing you when it comes to your expansion and growth and what you truly want. And what is also important for this, it can also be your health, right, that impacts you here when we're dealing with Aquarius. So make sure you're taking care of your health. I would say that full moon for you is coming in with intensity because it is about your money. A lot of you can get paid, but it's going to come through, you having faith too, with Venus being in Taurus. And with that opposition to Pluto and Aquarius, Aquarius is social dynamics. So, ops, I would say. April 9th, we have Mars entering into Aries, and then we're going to have April 15th, Mercury entering to Aries. Shared resources, finances, intimacy. This is where you can be in the mood. Mars is where you are in the mood to, get cozy up in the bedroom, or there can be some fights that happen within your most intimate relationships. Mars is that energy that is feisty. It's either physically intimate in the bedroom, or it wants to physically fight with people, have some hard words, especially because it is Mercury in Aries. So watch that. Watch your temper. Right? Secrets will be revealed. Anything that's hidden comes to light. Shared resources. This is where you can receive money, but you got to take action. Mars is like, you got to go to war for it. You got to take action when it comes to your investments. You got to be a little bit more, how do I say this? Not cutthroat, but like you got to have an edge to you. You got to have a Mars edge, which is like, I'm not standing for nonsense. I'm really standing on business. And this is investment. So this is where pairs can come out. A loan, package, a financial package can come through. Mercury also is that news that comes through. Some financial planning will be happening, especially when it comes to debts, loans, inheritances, taxes. But pairs can come through. But there might be a little action that you need to take or even fight for it with Mars. New moon Aries, this is new opportunities for financial investments, passive income, business partnerships. A spouse might get an opportunity if you're married. If you're single, it's about business partnerships. Okay. So when I mention married, like, a spouse might get something, this is not a video just for spouses. Okay, or like, you're with someone. It's a business partnership. This is the area of life for business partnerships, contracts, loans, even inheritances, taxes. It's where payouts come out from companies to you or from someone else, including a spouse. And if you're single, it's going to be through business partnerships or passive income. Okay, April 20th, we are going to have the sun enter into Taurus, 19/20th, and this is all about education, travel. You really focused on these opportunities for higher education, for travel. Success can come here. This is where you're seeking to expand and grow, and this is your spiritual philosophy. April 24th, we're going to have Venus entering into Gemini. This is great for your career. This is where you can get a new job offer. There's financial opportunities when it comes to your career, your reputation, your hard work and effort gets recognized, recognition comes your way. April 25th, Uranus enters into Gemini until 2033. You're going to need to expect unpredictable changes that are going to be happening to your career. Uranus is unpredictable. What it wants to do is give you freedom when it comes to your career, your goals, your reputation, including, if you're not working, your legacy. What is your sense of purpose? Now do comment your placements down below and I will respond to you in the comments. Remember, your birth chart is unique to you. I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed April. Libra. Now you are going to be getting money. A spouse could be getting money because Venus is in Taurus, right? Venus is in Taurus, March 30th until the 24th of April. So throughout April, Money can come through a spouse. And if you're not married and you're single, it's a business partnership. It's a loan that you've been working towards. This is also an inheritance. It's taxes. It's financial payouts to you from an institution. Okay? And even if you are married, you can still get those opportunities. But just when you're married, it's your spouse. And as well as passive income, business opportunities, and investments. This is other people's money. This is where Venus and Taurus is going to be giving you other people's money, right? So please take note. If you're single, business partnerships, companies paying you out, taxes, loans, inheritances included. And if you are married, you get the, spouse as well added on to that because that's somebody else. So with Venus being in Taurus, that's what you're focusing on. You're also going to be focusing on debts, paying off debts, loans, so forth like that. It's really great for financial planning, but Venus gives you this opportunity of making you more magnetic when it comes to other people's money. First, second, we're going to have a full moon in Libra in your sign. Now, what is important about this full moon happening in the sign of Libra for you? You are going to be looking at your relationships and want to walk away. The reason being because Venus is in Taurus, your most intimate relationships, the people that you either are physically intimate with in the bedroom, people that you are emotionally intimate, share secrets with. So this means it doesn't have to be love only. Intimacy happens in relationships that aren't love-based. Okay, like physical love-based. Intimacy can even happen with a best friend. So with this full moon, you're going to be looking at your closest relationship. Secrets can be revealed to you. And Venus in Taurus is in a square to Pluto in Aquarius. And for you, that has to deal with joy, pleasure, children, and romantic pursuits. So yes, a lot can be revealed within relationships. You can break up with someone if you are in a relationship and it's not working out for you. If you are in a relationship, you're going to seek balance and fairness and just within the relationship. Like you want to be just and fair. Okay. And if it's not love, this is where you're looking at your most intimate relationships and you're asking yourself, does it make me happy? And I shared myself with you. You told them my secrets. Does it really make me happy? Right. Then April 9th, Mars enters into Aries. 15th, Mercury enters into Aries. 17th, new moon in Aries. Prior to the new moon, you're going to be very feisty when it comes to your relationships. All of a sudden, you want to stipulate boundaries. Mars and Aries, you're willing to go to war with your relationships, partnerships, and collaborations, especially if it's unfair and not giving you the emotional fulfillment you truly desire. And then with Mercury being in Aries, words are sharp. And it's not just you. It's like all of a sudden, you feel like everybody forgot manners, charm, sweetness, politeness, and you just can't deal with this aggressive energy. So boundaries will be stipulated. What you can use this energy for is to take action when it comes to collaborative efforts in your work life, when it comes to contracts, deals, sales, like take action there. Become confident and bold. And with Mercury, you can get a lot of opportunities for money, for sales, for contracts, for deals, especially through partnership. Just remember boundaries with relationships too, because things can get quite feisty. We are dealing with Aries. You are the sign of justice, peace, and Aries is a sign of war and conflict. Okay, so just watch for that, right? Do not be impulsive in your relationships as well. Then the new moon sets the tone going forward over the next 2 weeks and over the next 6 months of new partnerships coming in. So if you're single, you could meet someone. If in an existing relationship, this is where you and your partner take on something new, a new sense of like how we handle things within this relationship. Maybe you're doing something new with your partnership. April 20th, 19th, Sun enters into Taurus. Is all about finances, shared resources, business partnerships. And if you are married, spouse, if not, it has to do with business partnerships, investments, taxes, loans, debts. Also, trauma. Anything in terms of seeking psychology, healing, a deep understanding, the occult, including astrology. It's a spiritual process for you as well. It's about dealing with loss and finding empowerment, seeing power dynamics and stepping up into your power. April 24th, we have Venus entering into Gemini. This is great for travel, adventure, higher education. It's really, really beautiful energy for that. You can also get a lot of money through sharing your expertise. April 25th, we have Uranus entering to Gemini. This is all about travel, unexpected opportunities, long distance trips. This awakens your soul and you want freedom. Higher education, true. You might either decide to study further or teach something that inspires others. Now, do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you down below in the comments. Scorpio. So April is interesting. March 30th, we have Venus entering into Taurus. So we're going to have Venus in Taurus opposite you until the 24th of April. With that being said, this is all about your relationships, your one-on-one relationships, personally and professionally. This makes you more magnetic within your romantic relationships. At the same time, this gives you financial opportunities through professional partnerships, clients, contracts, deals. That's what Venus in Taurus is doing. And Venus is all about money, values, desires, attraction energy. So this is very good for you in the month of April. Now, on the 1st, 2nd, we have a full moon in the sign of Libra. And this is about endings, releasing, letting go, emotional baggage and weight you've been carrying for far too long. At the same time, this deals with hidden enemies, truths being revealed. So this is going to give you that intuitive understanding. You'll be able to see things very clearly for what they are and who people are. What makes this even more interesting is that Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is sitting in Taurus. So this is dealing directly with your relationships, personal, professional, in a square to Pluto in Aquarius, which is about your emotional foundations. This has to do with everything with your emotional foundations, including family. And that square to relationships is going to be creating tension between your emotional wants and needs, power dynamics, and relationships, personal and professional. This Libra full moon is definitely going to be bringing up hidden matters to the surface. Now, on the 9th of April, we're going to have Mars entering into Aries. 15th of April, we're going to have Mercury entering into Aries. And on the 17th, we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful new moon in Aries. Saturn is in Aries, Neptune is in Aries, Sun is in Aries. So you can imagine all this Aries energy. For you, it's predominantly focusing on work, health, and routine. This means do not push yourself too hard. Saturn is hard work and labor. And we learn the lessons when we overexert ourselves, especially in the energy of Aries, that it can create stress and tension on our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So your first priority is going to be take care of your health. It's a great time for health checkups. It's a great time for health assessments. It's a great time for also taking some time for self-care. With that being said, with Mars in Aries, this can bring a lot of oppositions, meaning people that oppose you, open enemies to the surface. Boundaries are necessary. News might even come with Mercury about open enemies. And that new moon is about a new beginning and a fresh start where you are focusing solely on you. I would say what is beautiful about this is that there can be opportunities. Mars here, if you remain action-orientated, bold and confident, if you're applying for jobs, if you're trying to get a better position at work, you can get those opportunities coming in, especially with the Aries new moon, bringing in a new opportunity, 17th of April onwards over the next 2 weeks. So you can see a new opportunity coming in. You can even get new ideas. If a workplace feels too aggressive, you might decide that you need more peace and you might decide to move to something better. With that being said, if you're applying for jobs and have to interview with other people, or you are trying to get a better position, this is Mars. Competition and stakes are high. Okay, in the month of April when it comes to your work life, but you can get so much done. This is where you can find yourself getting a lot of things done. Like you are getting your work life, you're getting organized, you're decluttering your home, you're decluttering your space, you're moving things very quickly. You are getting a lot of things out of the way. Right. However, I will say to you, please do be mindful. Mars is very impulsive movement, so watch out for accidents. It can be vehicle accidents. It can also be the accidents of injuries to self. And because this is influencing your health, fast movements can obviously impact your health, where you're now seeking time out on the couch. So April 19th, 20th, we have the Sun entering into Taurus. This is all happening now opposite you. Opportunities for personal and professional relationships want to come in with the Sun being in Taurus. And there's a major focus in Taurus season on relationships going forward. Then April 24th, we have Venus entering into Gemini. This is about shared resources, money coming through, business partnerships, contracts, deals. It can also come through passive income. It can come through inheritance, taxes, loans, money from companies are being paid out to you. Especially if you're single. If you are married, this can also be the case, and it can also come through a spouse receiving an opportunity. This is where money is coming to you from other people. April 25th, we have Uranus entering into Gemini with romance till 2033. This for you is about liberation when it comes to your most intimate relationships, even physical intimacy, liberating yourself. This is where you get to see the power dynamics, what holds you back within your relationship. It doesn't have to be physical, intimate relationships only. It can be the relationships you share yourself emotionally with, the relationships you feel safe enough to shed a tear in front of. This is where vulnerability is going to be coming through. This is also going to bring opportunities for deep and profound healing. Past pain, trauma, all unearthed, seeing how that is holding you back and how you can step into empowerment. Great time for spiritual understanding. So it's great for astrology, tarot card reading, psychology, getting the deep transformation that you need within your life. Financially, you're seeking financial liberation. So you're going to be looking at passive income, business partnership, investments where you can gain financially, right? You might even notice some financial opportunities coming to an end. This is so you can find something better and liberate yourself. Earning potential is vast, but it's unexpected, and so can losses also happen. You can also receive insurance payouts too with this energy. So now, do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you down below in the comments. Sagittarius, this is exciting energy. April, we have Venus predominantly in Taurus until 24th. Okay, 30th of March, Venus entered into Taurus. So it will stay until 24th of April in Taurus. For you, this is money through work or services that you offer. Venus is attractive energy, it's receptive energy. So money will come through the work that you offer, services that you offer, work that you do. Promotion can come at work, opportunities at work. This is where you see finances grow. What you will also notice is that at the same time, you will be splurging more on self-care. Maybe you're spending more money on the spa or a health regime or a physical workout. You might even develop a sweet tooth, okay, during this time. First, second, we're going to have a full moon in the sign of Libra. Now, with this full moon in Libra, for you, it's about your social dynamics. So anything that you started, especially when it comes to your future wishes and dreams, collaborations, you can get opportunities. So if you had ideas to collaborate, to network, you see those desires being fulfilled. You can get wish fulfillment with this full moon as well, especially on things you've been working on for the past 6 months since the Libra new moon that we had towards the end of 2025. So collaboration offer can come on. There's something through social media can come through. This is an opportunity for your future wishes and dreams, something you've been wanting, but it'll be collaborative. Collaborative meaning maybe the company you've been wanting to work for reaches out to you after you apply, okay? Those type of things. There can also be tensions that happen within your social dynamics. Okay, so this means some harsh words can be spoken, or tensions could arise here. And when I say social dynamics, it's the people you choose to associate for your choice. It can be your work group. Work groups have cliques. So yes, it could be the company you work for, because you chose to associate, you applied for that job. It can be the family group. It can be because you ready to go see their family. It can be your friends. It can be your hobby group. Think social dynamics, think tensions are arising. With Venus being in Taurus, this is where you might ask yourself, because Venus is a depositor, are you overextending yourself? And with the square to Pluto in Aquarius, some information might come to light about work, about, where you overextend yourself, especially when it comes to others, and boundaries are necessary. Then we're going to have Mars enter into Aries, and this will happen April 9th. April 15th, Mercury in Aries. And this is all about your creativity, your joy, your pleasure, you taking action. I would say with Mars being in Aries, you're quite feisty in a romantic relationship. Either you're physically in the bedroom or you're quite feisty fighting with this person. Mars is that energy where it needs movement, okay? So either we are fighting or we are loving passionately in the bedroom. So with that being said, this awakens creativity, passion. It's great for creative projects, things you're working on. Saturn's in Aries, Neptune's in Aries, Mercury and Mars and the Sun You must know this is very strong Aries energy. And then we're going to have a new moon April 17th, a new beginning and a fresh start. So you could find yourself, really working hard towards something that you're passionate about. Asking yourself what makes you happy, what gives you joy. Saturn here sometimes can be quite depressing. It gives you a reality check about relationships. Neptune gives you the truth about romantic relationships. Saturn here can be quite heavy when it comes to children, relationships, romance, pleasure, joy, creative hobbies, but it tells you to work at it. Saturn wants work, regardless of how you're feeling. Saturn is about the day-to-day things that we do, meaning the step-by-step labor, action, discipline that we take. It's not about just joy and pleasure. And this is why this can be feeling quite heavy and burdensome to you. I want you to hold in mind and think about the future vision. Think about the Libra energy. With so much in Aries, you got to think about Libra. What is your future vision? Where do you see yourself? And why you're doing what you're doing today? And who are you with? Romantically, tensions could arise here, especially if a relationship is lacking boundaries, not communicating clearly. Saturn will restrict it out, so breakups can happen. It's important to communicate, to find joy and pleasure within your romantic relationships, including tensions could arise with children. So remember that boundaries, think before we speak. Mars and all this energy in Aries can make us rather impulsive, aggressive. So think about things, while Saturn's trying to teach us discipline, how to slow down before we act. Okay? Then 1920th, we have the sun entering to Taurus. This is all about your work, health, and routine, and opportunities can come in for new job offers, for new ways in which you show off your services, and also about your health, taking care of your health, making sure that you're living in balance, mentally, emotionally, and physically, right? It's very important. April 24th, we have Venus entering into Gemini. This is all about your relationships, one-on-one relationships. So here you can get a lot of money through professional relationships, a contract, a deal, more clients, sales. This is where negotiations lead to financial gain, especially through the way that you communicate. When it comes to love, if you're single, you can meet someone. If you're in an existing relationship, this builds some harmony and peace, especially with Mars being like, a bit more tense. This gives in some harmony and peace to your relationships, harmonious partnerships. Then April 25th until 2033, we are going to have Uranus enter into Gemini. This is going to bring long-term innovation to your relationships, personally and professionally. It's also unpredictable energy. So if a relationship comes to an end, this is to you to see that you need to be a part of relationships that offer you freedom. And right, this is what you're looking for. Relationships are different, freedom, unique is what is interesting. And even within an existing relationship, as long as freedom is there, that is very important. This is also going to show you professionally too, seeking that freedom within your relationships and liberation. That will be the key, okay? Uranus is the great awakener and awakens us to where we've been stuck within relationships. And how can we break ourselves free? That's what's happening for you. Okay, do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you down below in the comments. Capricorn, welcome to April. Now in April, we have a full moon, first, second in the sign of Libra. Now, if you've been working on anything over the past 6 months, you reap the rewards for it in terms of your career. You get the promotion, you get the recognition, you get the job offer, especially if you have a job. If you are self-employed, you find career success, especially on things you've been working on, right? You find that success through creative projects. Libra is ruled by Venus. So this means you need to have emotional fulfillment in what you are doing. If you have been people-pleasing when it came to your career, you could see this come to an end, because a full moon is a completion point. Either you're completing a goal you've been working on your career, or you're completing the cycle of working at a specific place. And whether that is because now you applied for something new or your time here has come to an end, that is the energy of this full moon. And it's going to ask you something very important, Capricorn. See, Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is sitting pretty in Taurus. And this is your joy and pleasure. It's asking you, hey, Capricorn, has your career, the place that you work, right, your legacy, your sense of purpose, has it been fulfilling you? That's what this is. This is not just about your career, it's about your sense of purpose, your legacy, your sense of deep inner fulfillment. And there is a square to Pluto in Aquarius, which is influencing your money, Are you being valued in your career, and are you earning enough? Are you? Are you being devalued? Are people underpaying you? Does this need to come to an end now? Big questions. Okay? Comment and let me know down below how you feel about that. April 9th, we're going to have Mars entering into Aries. April 15th, Mercury enters into Aries. April 17th, new moon in Aries. This is all about home and family. Now, Mars, you know how it is. He wants to take action. And you could use this for renovations within your home, decluttering your home, moving home, doing things within your home to make your home livable, but it's around action. I will say tensions can arise, especially with anyone you share a domestic living space with. It doesn't only have to be family. You can see family fights happen because this does rule over family, and or anyone you share a domestic living space with. Whether it's a roommate, whether it is a family member, tensions could arise, right? This is your home life that's feeling a bit turbulent. Mars here can make people quite feisty, and you're feeling it. Boundaries are very much so necessary. 15th, we're going to have Mercury there. Oh, communication is also heated now. Words are flying. Remember, this is not healthy. I would say if you have a home-based business, it's great for you taking action. When it comes to your home, make sure you're getting enough sleep. I would say very importantly, like taking action towards a home-based business, right? But also make sure you're getting enough sleep. Mars can make you quite restless, and it's uncomfortable to find emotional comfort within your bed or home at the time. You can feel a bit uncomfortable. Mercury can have you having heated debates within your home and family. And let me just say, it's not just family. It's anyone you share an emotional connection with. So if they fill your heart, this is where you feel like, oh my goodness, I have to stipulate boundaries. And it can be quite aggressive. It's Aries, okay? Maybe you even feel like you need to take more leadership roles. Maybe you feel the weight of the burdens are on you, that you putting in more effort and things are unfair and unbalanced. And you needing that emotional peace. New moon, this is all about new beginnings and fresh starts to your home and family. So some of you, maybe we're taking action towards moving home. Maybe you were getting married during this time and preparing everything. Now you can move into that home. It's a new beginning within your home and family, a new and fresh start. If you're already married, right? This is like maybe there were tensions. Now this is like, okay, we've had the tensions, we have the rows. Where are the boundaries and how do we move forward from here? That new moon is bringing new emotional fulfillment, a new way of handling disputes within the home, a new way of taking care of yourself emotionally as well. I will say great for moving home, great for making changes within your home with that new moon. It's all about new emotional connections for you, like how you emotionally fulfill yourself. April 20th, we have the sun entering into Taurus, 19th, 20th of April. And this is all about creativity, joy, pleasure. You could meet someone new if you're single, and if you're in an existing relationship, this is where you're thinking, let's have some fun. Why not? April 24th, Venus enters into Gemini. This is all about work, health, and routine. So now you're spending more time, working on your work life, but with sweetness, with pleasure, with harmony. So you might get opportunities through work, opportunities to up your services if you're not working, and you work for yourself. Opportunities to also take care of your health and well-being. Maybe you're spending money, Venus's money, when it comes to your mental, emotional, or physical health. This is where you're finding the sweetness in life. You could also use this for self-care. Now, April 25th, you can have Uranus enter into Gemini. This is where you're going to be seeking freedom within your work life. What is freedom? This is like freelance work. This is where you have more time at work. This is where you might realize how burnt out you are from doing many things, right? Gemini is multitasking, and you have the ability to multitask quickly at work, make it seem, effortless, easy. And all of a sudden, you're looking like long-term at work and health, like, hey, I need more freedom. I can do a lot. Yeah, I know that, but it shouldn't impact my health and well-being. How can I find freelance work or find more time, have more time for myself and also still be getting paid the way I want to? A lot of you are going to find unique jobs, internet jobs, things that give you that sense of freedom. Because Uranus is liberation and freedom. It's also the great awakener, and it's going to awaken you to your work life. You're also going to see unhealthy habits within your work life. You'll be very aware of open enemies. Open enemies is like when someone just dislikes you and you know it. There's no even hiding it. So this will be happening until 2033. So do comment your placements. I love hearing from you, and I'll respond to you down below in the comments. Aquarius, first, second, we have a full moon happening in the sign of Libra. Finally, you might complete something related to higher learning, education. You can see this happening over the next 2 weeks. You're completing something that has been quite significant for you. Maybe you just came back from traveling. You just came back from a course you've been doing, teaching. It's also about your belief system. This full moon will show you what beliefs and philosophies are you holding about yourself that are keeping you stuck, and how can you seek out that expansion and growth. Now, with this full moon happening, the sign of Libra and Venus being the sign of Taurus, and Taurus rules over your home and family, this is where it's going to filter in. It's going to be in a square to you. And so it's going to be asking you a big question. What, this full moon is going to influence your home and family, right? Finances, Venus is money. Pluto in Aquarius is talking about self-transformation. So this Libra full moon is asking you, you want to expand and grow. You want to have all these opportunities. Venus in Taurus is pointing you to your emotional foundations, your home, your family, the very things that give you security, and it's asking you, hey, are you having the security? Are you able to pay for things within your home? And Pluto in Aquarius is saying you need to transform. So transformation of self will be a big theme here in order to free yourself, right? Libra is an air sign. Aquarius is an air sign. And this Pluto transformation is big when it comes to your self-identity, and when it comes to expansion, growth, and what you want to complete, and what is going to give you the money to pay the bills now. Because Venus is when you're spending money at home. So there's going to be bills coming in at home, especially with Venus being in Taurus March 30th until 24th of April. So you're going to see that either you need to buy new furniture, you need to pay for this at home. Money can come through family gifts, like maybe a family member gives you something. This is also about you looking at home-based work to make money. This is you maybe need to spend some money on home-based renovations, spend some money on a family gathering, things like that, family gifts. So you're going to be asking yourself, how do you need to transform in order to expand and grow? Because that's what that Libra full moon is asking you. So you could complete something you're studying. You might decide to study further. This is also about travel, spending on travel as well. April 9th, Mars enters into Aries. Mercury enters into Aries 15th. New moon 17th, all in Aries. Saturn's in Aries, Neptune's in Aries, Sun is in Aries. We have what we call a stellium, a big focus in Aries. This is about communication, contracts, deals, negotiations, siblings, short distance trips. It's also about projects and communication and your sense of expression. When Mars being in Aries, you're going to notice tensions happening when you're communicating with people, like feeling frustrated, feeling aggravated. There can also be some challenges when it comes to learning, writing, teaching, your sense of expression. People want to argue with you more. Tensions are rife, right? And then Mercury, their words are sharp, they're cutting like knife. But it's really great for you to take action on projects, on learning, like be focused, be disciplined. Saturn is disciplined. Things might take slower, but the discipline will ensure that you get the opportunity, right? Even when it comes to contracts, when it comes to negotiations, all of these things, they might take slow, like in terms of time, but don't get frustrated because we're going to want things to happen quickly, but we got to abide by Saturn's rule. Things take time, okay? So with that being said, March 20th, 19th, the sun enters into Taurus. It's all about home, family, opportunities within the home, family, and security, right? Some of you might move, some of you might meet someone new, some of you might move to get a new roommate, changes within the home, opportunities there. Now, we are going to see on the 24th, Venus entering into Gemini. This is all good for creativity, romance, fun, and pleasure. I will say with everything in Aries, a lot of gossip, a lot of truth can come to the surface. Just remember, boundaries are necessary. Amongst siblings, amongst people you communicate with, relatives, boundaries are necessary. Watch out for accents on short distance trips, right? With everything being in Aries. I'll put the dates down below in the description, but watch out for that. Aries is quick and fast. Saturn wants us to learn the discipline of not moving too quickly. So, and you can feel mentally overstimulated. Your head can literally hurt with Saturn, Neptune, Sun, Mercury, Mars, all sitting in your mind. It can be very frustrating. So, take some time to meditate. Then, April 25th, we're going to have Uranus entering into Gemini. This is about liberation when it comes to creativity. And if you didn't want children before, now maybe you want children. There's also rules over children, unexpected pregnancies, unexpected epiphanies when it comes to joy, pleasure, and romance. And also what makes you truly happy. That's the biggest thing here. What makes you happy, Aquarius? This is going to be asking you like over until 2033, what makes you happy? And anything that doesn't make you happy will unpredictably change within your life. So expect the unexpected when it comes to children, when it comes to creativity, joy, pleasure, dating as well, but allow liberation to be planted here because this is what you want. Do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you and I will respond to you. Tell me below in the comments. Pisces. Venus entered into Taurus March 30th. So it will be in Taurus throughout April until the 24th, majority of April. So with Venus being in Taurus, you can make money through the ideas that you have, how you speak, communication, contracts, deals, negotiations, internet, product launches. This is where money is coming from, marketing, from networking, from connecting. So if you're interviewing, money will come through. If you sales pitching, money comes through. Product launching, it all comes through. It's through your communications. You could also find yourself spending more money on short distance trips right now, Pisces, okay, traveling a bit. This is the energy. You could also be spending more time with relatives and siblings. With that being said, we have a full moon on the 1st, 2nd of April. It's happening in the sign of Libra, and for you, it's all about shared resources. So if you've been waiting for insurances to pay out, a loan, taxes, passive income, a business partnership, it pays out to you, especially if something you've been working on over the past 6 months since the Libra new moon. Now, if you're married, the same will apply to you in business partnerships, contracts, insurances, loans, but you could also get money through a spouse. So if you're married, the money will come through a spouse as well, because this is opportunities for other people's money to come to you. So either it's a corporation, an organization, an inheritance, taxes, loan, it comes to you, right? It's a payout, or it can come through your spouse, which also then adds to you because it's shared resources. This full moon can also bring up power dynamics, hidden enemies, truths being revealed, intimate relationships. Some of you will walk away from a romantic relationship that there has no trust in it. If a relationship has trust, you can build on that. What is interesting with this full moon that's happening in the sign of Libra, Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is sitting pretty in Taurus. So you're making money through your ideas, your thoughts, and product launching, negotiation, communications at the same time. That Venus in Taurus is going to be in a square to Pluto in Aquarius. So there's something that you need to release and let go, and in order for you to build going forward. And this can be emotionally, this can be some tough conversations that need to be had, especially in your most intimate relationships. It can be a business partnership that you walk away from. It can also be, like I said, a romantic relationship. This can even be a marriage, right? But if there's trust and intimacy, you can have deep, vulnerable moments within this relationship where you can build on that trust in a more deeper way, where you can share where you feel things are out of whack or the power balance is off, and you can heal it. This is about transformation that's coming to your relationships. And through this transformation means that the old ways of dealing with an intimate relationship cease to exist. And not just romantic, it can be an intimate relationship. Anyone you share secrets. So if you have a best friend, you share secrets. A family member you share secrets with, because this is the area of secrets and where we feel vulnerable to share those secrets. It's whether we get emotionally undressed or physically undressed, they are the same thing. They both equate to intimacy. So regardless if you're in a relationship or not, this is you now looking at these relationships and seeing, is there trust? And can I trust these relationships? There will be, like I said, some of you might even seek therapy, counseling, a tarot card reading, astrology. This is where you also are delving deeper into shadow work and deep, profound healing in order to step into empowerment. Then, 9th of April, Mars enters into Aries. Mercury enters into Aries, 15th. Now, Saturn, Neptune, and Sun is in Aries. And then, April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. This is all about your money, shared resources, money in your bank account. Right, the very money that you go and you get out the ATM, this is what's influencing. Mars makes you motivated to take action when it comes to ideas your skill and talent in order to boost your resources. Mercury can bring in contracts, deals, and negotiations that are financial opportunities for you. And the new moon shows new opportunities that are coming through. So work on it. I do not want you to push yourself past burnout. There will be some reality checks. Saturn is here. Slow progress will win the day. Do not over push yourself, right? With so much also happening in the area of money in your bank account, you can be spending too. Just make sure what you are spending on is worthy. It's not like you're just spending haphazardly. Aries is impulsive energy, so impulsively you could be spending. So watch your money, okay? Do not get into any arguments around money. Boundaries. April 20th, Sun enters into Taurus, 1920th, and this is going to bring in communication, learning, travel, networking. It's really great. Short distance trips. This is really great. The Sun can give you opportunities for contracts, deals, negotiations. You could be spending more time with siblings and relatives. Really great for short distance trips, learning something new, teaching something new, coming up with a mini little course. This is interesting energy for you. 24th, we have Venus entering into Gemini. This is really great for your home. You could be spending money on home-based items, a lamp, a toaster, you name it. You're beautifying your home. You might also decide that you want to do more things at home, right? Maybe you're spending money on renting movies at home. You're doing those things, or doing stuff with family, getting money from family. Money can come through family, a sale of a home, a property. You could be spending more money when it comes to family. And then April 25th, Uranus enters into Gemini. This is going to bring long-term changes to your home and family. You might unexpectedly move. Unexpected changes can happen within your family. This is emotional liberation, and it's been coming for a while. Until 2023, you're going to go through a whole set of emotional experiences that are going to be happening to set you free. So unexpectedly changing home. Having moments emotionally, like disruptions within your home. Maybe someone moves out. Maybe you decide to move out. This is change. When it comes to your family, changes happen in your family, and unexpectedly you got to change the way you are living or emotionally feeling. This is intense liberation. Now, do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you down below in the comments.